It took one look and now you stare at me the same. It took one look but you play me like a game. It took one look and now you stare at me the same. It took one look but you play me like a game.
was not for everybody. However, I'm starting to see this world in the right light. Yet it still gets darker. You see, it's just a simple symphony or a painting, whatever. It's a natural path that spans infinitely. But my world is crumbling. Let it collapse into the abyss. In the midst of summer it won't exist. This emptiness, it's just a blank slate, waiting for a painter to interfere. It's quite complex, but what I know.
Flowers that bloom in the darkness, it's a sighting that is rare to come across. Nobody seems to have noticed that the power that could be bestowed is lost, riding through the twilight. This armory protects my heart. There's a voice that is calling. It's calling for me to go beyond where I've always been longing. I'm longing to find where.
Hello, one and all, to night number 2 of the conference finals. One wait or another tonight, we will crown our 2 champions. in both conferences, and we will have our Super Series matchup for Season 7 situated. Both series in a 1-1 draw after some exciting games last night. Hope we can have night 2 live up to the hype. A quick out for Bobby Farmhand for the High Rollers, and we're underway here in game number 3 of the Epic Conference Finals. And Fizek is joining the call here.
Hello.
Hello, sir. There's the stream for you.
Ah, wow, we're in.
2 quick outs. Here's King Kush. He's going to foul that one off. 2-2 count here. One's low. The count is full. And that will be a walk, so it's not a 1-2-3 inning for Farmhand. I'll bring up Trey Flip-Flop.
This is going to be a real test for the High Rollers here to get back with this series tied at 1. Given the pitching depth that the Unicorns have, the High Rollers will need to have some really fantastic outings.
And the runner now in scoring position for Flip-Flop. He's going for third. Carlita Beltran gets the runner that time. And the side is retired and will go to the bottom of the first inning.
Why? Why is that the move there?
The Unicorns wanted the zoom, but Carlita Beltran said no.
You already got second. You got decent speed.
So, Puppet, the scores from last night were Gauchos 1, Vikings 0, Unicorns 2, High Rollers 1, Vikings 2, Gauchos 0, and then High Rollers 10, Unicorns 5. We had that chance to have the lowest scoring night in league history, and the High Rollers said, I don't really feel like it. Yes, everything's tied up at 1 apiece. 1-1 are all series. And that's a strike out of Wally Woolley, 2 away now. So what do you think the X factor is here for both conference series, whatever. Now that we're in like the back half of the rotation, Fizek.
I mean, without a doubt, it's the Unicorns have the pitching depth, so the High Rollers have more of a hill to climb here. I mean, if they can get at least one of these next 2, that way force a game 5 where you got the number 1s going again. I think if you're the High Rollers, that's what you're aiming for. For Vikings Gauchos, I mean, I think suffice to say the Gauchos are definitely playing on house money. In terms of they've got a really, really bright future, and they've definitely gotten a lot farther this season than I think anybody accounted for. But if the Vikings have one weakness, is that lower part of their order has been long stop. What a grab. The lower part of the Vikings order has been really hitting above their pay grade all season, and they're gonna need to continue to do that because, especially when you start thinking about like the Reed siblings, Miyuki behind the plate, like the batting, just that's not why they're in the order. But they're definitely gonna need to show up, seeing as through the first 2 games of the series, the Vikings have just scored 2 runs. Granted, the Gauchos have only scored 1 run in that entire series as well. So the pitching for the Vikings have been dominant, but the Vikings don't necessarily have a really strong 3-4. So I think the hitting for the Vikings will be the X factor.
Yeah, and also to go along with that, you still got Samir Tailwind going to miss 2 games tonight. Having with the double unassisted double play, catching the line out and stepping on the bag. Yes, Dean, the 4th starter for the Gauchos is Cartman. I believe the 4th starter for the Vikings is Barnstormer, if I remember correctly.
That may be it.
Yeah, they didn't change anything, so it is Bert Barnstormer. So here we are, top of the 3rd, still nothing doing. Par for the course so far, pretty much, in these conference final series. One thing I think of note, and I think you alluded to it, is the pitching depth. Even though it goes without saying, the Unicorns' bullpen in this series, at least these first 2 games, has not been stellar. They blew up last night in Game 2, giving up, I think it was 7 runs in those final 2 innings. As Haggy Porterhouse gets one up the middle. That's going to put 2 aboard. Nobody out here in the top of the 3rd. And then comparatively to what depth the high rollers have in their bullpen, I feel like that comparatively those will be what really tells the tale. I mean, obviously the high rollers have Tipsy Reynolds, but beyond Tipsy Reynolds, it's Walter Milon, who we did see last night, and Wally Woolley gets the double play.
That might be the smartest Dragon special I've ever seen. To go for the tag and not the force out at second, that was very, very smart by Woolley.
One of the few times you actually see a tag applied correctly. But up the middle goes Odor, and the run will come home to score, and the Unicorns take a 1-0 lead. And Odor gets caught stealing by Beltran, her 2nd caught stealing of the night, but Odor does not get a run, gives the Unicorns a 1-0 lead going into the bottom of the 3rd, and here is Beltran to lead us off. So as I was mentioning, Tipsy Reynolds, Walter Milon, we've seen both of them in this series, but then it's Grin Campbell, a man that time has pretty much forgotten. I forgot he was still in the league, and then Liv Polbean.
Yeah, it's an interesting. We haven't seen like a dominating staff. I think if any of the 4 teams that are currently in postseason have one, it would be it would without a doubt be the Unicorns. So I feel like the high rollers have pretty decent. I think the Vikings will probably be 2nd best. I think Vikings and Gauchos are honestly pretty even.
Like overall or in the pitching?
Overall. I mean, Hot Mike for the Vikings is just a really, really solid long reliever.
Yeah,
but
Hot Mike.
Their bottom end is kind of falls off a little bit.
Had Bruce Hot Mike about a 3 ERA pitcher, just a shade under that during the regular season. As we'll go quickly to the top of the 4th, still a 1-0 lead for the Corns. Iron balls to lead things off for the Corns. And that will be a leadoff walk given to Woody Walker. Brings up King Kush, very dangerous man. First pitch swing pops this one up into left. Long stop is there, and he'll make the catch round number 1.
Relatively quiet start so far. We know the Unicorns have really got the potential to just absolutely rake in runs. Farmhand has done well so far. Honestly, especially given the Unicorns' order and what they bring to the table, he's been relatively decent, but he's gonna have to have a lot more consistency.
What is
good?
he doing?
Oh wait!
What in the world? Longstop just stared at it for a second and allows the runner to score all the way from first, and it's 2-0.
What just happened?
I feel like the game literally broke. He literally just stood there and stared at the ball for a second. I was going to say this could be an interesting play because he doesn't have a great arm to begin with. He is fast. He could have got to it early. but I was wondering how quickly he was going to get to it to throw it in to see if it would hold the runner going from third, but literally just stared at it after it hit the wall.
And he made that really, really good diving catch the other inning as well. So that's just so surprising from him.
No, he didn't drop it. Or he was nowhere close to it. It rolled to the wall, and this one's going to be over the head of Max Range. That's going to get down into the corner. One run's going to score. Another runner heading for third. A good throw from Evans. Doesn't get the runner at second, but a good play getting it in there. But a 3-0 lead for the Unicorns here. 2 on, only 1 out here for Moose Shaw. A chance to really break things open here early. Swing and a miss. Moose Shaw gets rung up there. A huge second out for Farmhand. He's tense. 4 walks, 4 hits through 3 2/3 and 3 earned. Haggy Porterhouse up to bat. I think I updated as Porterhouse pops this one up into right, and that should do it with Evans making the catch for round number 3. 2 more runs for the Unicorns makes it a 3-0 ball game going to the bottom of the 4th. Top of the order for the High Rollers. Because I updated OBS like a month or so ago, or even 2 months ago, and when it finished updating, like none of like the normal stuff was there. Like the screens weren't there, the scoreboard, nothing was there. And I was like, crap, it updated and it lost all of my stuff. But like it somehow changed like the profile or something to where I was just on the wrong profile, and I think I deleted something and it's not going off of what the settings were, and it's now defaulting to 720p instead of like full HD 1080, so I need to fix that. I keep on forgetting to fix that.
Well, I had those issues when I would export in OBS and it would be exporting in 720. Or the recording, rather.
Full count here to Wally Woolley, and he singles up the middle. A 1-out single for the High Rollers. Wally Woolley has made his presence felt in this series. He has done well so far, coming back from injury against that Bombers series. Colin locked in. That's the first hit he's actually given up. Came in activated for Colin here against Max Range. Range was a slow roller to second. Porterhouse scoops it, gets it to Hatman in time. Round number 2. And here is Becky Foe. Foe didn't have an excellent night last night. In game 2, she actually struck out a couple times, but did eventually hit the go-ahead home run after Max Range tied it up last night, and then Piston Omen hit the grand slam to give that High Rollers lead. This one's into left, but that will be just in front of the warning track for Woody Walker. For out number 3 into the 5th inning, we go 3-0 for the team in pink. 9-1-2 due up for the Unicorns.
And I feel like this is a statement game for the High Rollers for them. And I mean, they've obviously Donut Boy getting his 50th career managerial victory yesterday, and I feel like the High Rollers are always on the cusp of the conversation, right? But this team has yet to even have a Super Series appearance. Which, I mean, again, getting to the Super Series, there have been there will be after this season 8 teams. Or 8 possible different entries into the Super Series. So it's a very limited pool, but especially with how good the High Rollers have been, it's just interesting that they've never been able to just like execute it in the postseason. So especially right now, down 3-0, if they really wanted to like start changing the narrative around the organization in terms of turning that regular season success into postseason success, it would have a long time coming from here. But the Unicorns, of course, they're starting their own destiny or starting their own dynasty. And for them to advance to a Super Series, and I think like for them it would be probably on time, but even just a little bit sooner than we maybe could have expected from them this season. I mean, just this series has really big implications in the epic. And of course, like the high rollers pulling out that dragon special there definitely helps their case as they, I don't know if they can give up any more runs to the unicorns given how much of a gap they already have to make up.
I'm a Packers fan, so this team constantly losing in the conference finals is something I am used to.
Well, Wally Wooly is immunized.
A leadoff walk for Blind Ollie brings in Vic Turnpike. And, you know, not necessarily. Oh, and Vic Turnpike into center. Tracking back. That one looks deep and it's gone. Vic Turnpike with one swing of the bat makes it a one-run game. 420 feet into right center field, and it's 3-2.
That ball was dying a little bit and head to maybe the deepest part it could have gone. But Turnpike finally getting the high rollers on the board, putting them within reach now.
Good snag by Flip-Flop to get the first out. And it knocks Colin down to neutral. He had been locked in for the past inning or so. Quick 0-2 count here to Evans. Swing and a miss! Nice bounce back for Colin, getting 2 quick outs. And something I was going to mention, it not necessarily, it's not the end of the line for the high rollers. By any means, this team is still going to be really good for a couple more seasons as Longstop going to get this one into the gap, and it's going to roll to the wall. Nice bounce for Bree to recover, but it's going to be a 2-out double, so the tying run 180 feet away here for Piston Omen. But, you know, this team came in season 4, and so this is their 4th season, so some of these OG players are going to start to age a little bit as Omen puts us into the corner, and I think we're going to have a tie game. Piston Omen with an RBI single ties us at 3 apiece. But you're going to have people like, I think Piston Omen was an original player. You got Becky Foe, Wooly, Turnpike was an original high roller, but he's a season 2 guy, so he'll get hit even harder. Longstop's older. And then you've got Tipsy Reynolds, Peach Dropkin. Farmhand, I'm pretty sure, was an OG high roller. So it's going to be interesting to see what this high roller squad has left in the tank after this season. I still feel like they probably have another season or 2 worth of competition. They really need to build up that minors, but Wally Wooly puts us in the gap, and the high rollers will take their first lead of the night, 4-3.
He could go 3.
RBI
Easily.
triple for Wally Wooly.
Stand up triple at that. And he kind of rounded the base a little bit there, and he definitely could have tagged him, but I mean, this is what the high rollers need. They need to respond in this inning. They've now got Belmont on the mound. Start hacking away.
And that will do it for the bottom of the 5th, but the high rollers with 4 in the inning take the lead 4-3 going to the top of the 6th. So Farmhand now has flipped the script and outlasted Colin. Looked like the opposite was going to be true with Farmhand struggling a bit earlier. But Colin couldn't get the last out of the 5th. And 2 quick outs for Farmhand here in the top of the 6th. And here's Gerald Davis, 0 for 1 so far. That's going to be up the middle, out of the reach of Wally Wooly, and Davis will be aboard. A 2-out single for him, and the tying run is on base. And Davis will get pulled, get a pinch runner in here really early, and here comes Tipsy Reynolds as well.
I mean, that's a really bad. I mean, we'll see how it plays out here.
The throw in the dirt, but Wooly recovers and tags the runner. The 3rd caught stealing for Beltran tonight, and we go to the bottom of the 6th.
Wow. I mean, the fact that Gerald Davis is now subbed out as well.
Yeah, that's a big bat, and I don't exactly know bench-wise what the Unicorns really have available. Let me take a peek in the team channel. On the bench, Ura Irons, Austin Earp, Keisha Phillips, who we just saw, and Ash Frost.
Phillips might stay in as a DH.
Yeah, but even at that bat is maybe, I think, 60-60. And this one, a deep fly ball into right. And Kush at least knocks it into play. But it'll be a one-out double for the High Rollers. Chalk up another one in the I've never seen that before column tonight.
I don't know what to say to that. Like, it definitely was dying there, and Kush, I mean, great job to keep it in, but gotta make the grab there, gotta say.
I mean, at very least, he kept it in play, and the Corns at least have a chance to get out of the inning unscathed here, facing off against Carlita Beltran.
Howlers need to take advantage.
But it won't work in the end as Beltran singles up the middle. And it's another run for the High Rollers. The rookie Beltran is having quite a series in this one. She has collected a few clutch hits. So the theatrics from King Kush don't come to pass. And that's out of the reach of Haggy Porterhouse.
Let's see if the Howlers can get even more runs here, given a gift by Kush. Again, like, Kush, I think the thinking there is that if he's already up there to at least prevent it from going over, he should be able to make the grab, because he's a great defensive fielder.
Well,
and so now, as we head into the rest of this game, let's see one run. That's the difference here in terms of if it ends with a one-run deficit. You'll have to think back to the bottom of the sixth with Kush having the chance to get the Unicorns out with only a one-run deficit.
At least he was there to knock it down and didn't miss the ball like 2 feet to his left. Looking at you, Amish Rifleman. Full count here to Breezy Bree from Tipsy Reynolds. Don't even think she threw a pitch. Well, she did throw a pitch that did. Oh, she can't handle that one. And the runner will be safe, so Breezy Bree aboard with an infield single. One swing baseball now for Musha. Just off the top of my head, I don't feel like Moonshaw has really done much this series offensively. As she fouls that one off, an 0-2 count from Tipsy Reynolds. Flares this one to short. Turnpike is there for out number one.
And the question is, who for the Unicorns is going to step up? I mean, they definitely have the firepower, without a doubt, but the first order of business is they got to get pitches into Tipsy Reynolds.
And that's not the way to do it, as Haggy Porterhouse gets rung up there. You know, if you told me coming into this series, the Unicorns through 2 2/3 of a game would have scored only 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 runs, I probably wouldn't have believed you. The High Rollers defense has just found a new level here in the postseason. Hammond into left. That's a high fly ball, but I don't think it has quite enough on it. And it'll be caught by Longstock deep in the track for out number 3, and will go to the bottom of the 7th. A loud final out there.
They just can't get the pitch count high on Reynolds. Like, Farmhand lasted so long that Reynolds could conceivably finish this game.
Yes, very much so. Like, I mean, and that's another thing. Reynolds had kind of a mediocre regular season, but she's absolutely found a new gear here in the postseason. Like, her postseason stats have got to be insane because she had that 6-inning game against the Stingers in the first round. She might have only appeared once in the Bombers series, though. And this one into center, tracking back is Bree, and that one is gone. Another one for Wally Woolley, and it's 6-3 High Rollers.
The High Rollers are just finding a way right now. I mean, Belmont is by no means an amazing long reliever. Still has plenty of future in the SSBL ahead of him, but able to really just get to him here late. And honestly, given what the Unicorns have not been able to do this series, which is score runs, the more that the High Rollers put on here, the more dire it starts to look.
Blind Ollie, 1 on, 2 out now. Double for him so far tonight. And this one, another high fly ball into center, but it looks like the park will contain this one as Bree will make the catch round number 3. The solo shot makes it 3 straight innings of scoring for the High Rollers. 6-3 going to the top of the 8th. Unicorns need to get something going here. Try to get to Tipsy Reynolds before they find themselves in a do-or-die situation.
And you know, this game has a lot of stakes, Whitney, and not just because it's tied 1-1 in the conference finals, but this is also the 50th career game managing for Elder, and he currently sits at 24-25.
And Odor will strike out swinging there, 1 away. That's right back to Reynolds. Another easy out for her. And it's King Kush.
By the way, we also, the career leader for all time, as that's definitely going to do it for the top of this inning here. The career leader in postseason games is it indeed that? Because I didn't factor it out here for the other teams. I was going to say it's you, Whitney, but I actually don't know if that's the case. No, it's actually Dan Winkler with 48 postseason games. I mean, the number of postseason games between these two teams here is 31. Two very different sides, though. Donut Boy with 25 career postseason games, Elder with only 6. So it's a battle of so many dimensions here. Elder, who is an Elder in real life, is very much a newbie coming into here. Ooh, great work there by Bree.
Bree is, she makes a lot of difference in center field with that speed. Able to track down some balls that, even 10 fewer speed that you get down for hits and change games. And to the 9th we go. Unicorns need 3 to extend it. And they've got the heart of their order due up.
This is it. 3 runs, 3 outs. Otherwise,
and a locked-in Tipsy Reynolds.
High Rollers will call match point. 35 pitches in 2.1 innings.
And that should be out number 1. Woolley under it. And that's caught.
We're for sure going to have another wild card team win this year, aren't we?
Oh, yeah, because it's all 3-4.
Although the Unicorns as a wild card, I mean, but Unicorns gotta make it out of this series.
As Keisha Phillips gets rung up there, and it's Breezy Bree, the last hope for the Unicorns. Swing and a miss, and the High Rollers find themselves one game away from the Season 7 Super Series with a 6-3 win here in game number 3 of the Epic Conference Finals. Once you turned the game over to the bullpen, it was a completely different game. Six unanswered runs for the High Rollers, and they take this one 6-3. 7 hits for the Unicorns, a pair from Odor and Bree. And let's see for the High Rollers, a couple of home runs, Turnpike and Wooly. Wooly 3 for 4 tonight. Excellent performance of him, probably MVP of the game. Take a look at pitching. Colin couldn't get that final out of the 5th and came unraveled, giving up 4 earned through 4 2/3, and then Belmont giving up 2 through 3 1/3. Farmhand gets the win, 3 earned through 5 2/3. And then Tipsy Reynolds getting the save. Only 1 base runner and 4 punch-outs through 3 1/3. MVP Wooly Reynolds and Vic Turnpike. And we'll go into game number 3 of the Heroic Conference Finals.
And we'll have to see after this heroic game. The High Rollers have played every single possible game they could this postseason. 2-1 against the Stingers, 2-1 against the Bombers, and now up 2-1 heading into a pivotal game 4. Whereas Unicorns had not lost a single game this postseason until that series. So, it's the two trends of these teams. Where will they go? But now, obviously, not to say High Rollers at Vikings, Gauchos at Vikings. Now, heading into this one, the Vikings, they're also a team that, they were 1 game away from making it to the man spoiled the Super Series. Vikings were 1 game away from making it to the Super Series last season until possibly the worst choke job in the history of the SSBL, giving up 3 straight games to the Knights. Now in a situation where they're playing a Gauchos team that, again, it's not that the Gauchos team is bad by any stretch of the means. They're just they've arrived a lot earlier than I think we've expected them to be. And, last year we were saying that it was the Viking series to lose, and, I still think it's the Viking series to lose. I think the Gauchos can definitely turn some heads by having a good showing, and that starts with this game right here. But especially considering, the Vikings would like to get this done they're the 4 seed, aren't they? The Vikings are the 4 seed.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I mean, getting it done at Shaka as well. The Vikings have a chance to get 2 here and go to the Super Series riding that Shaka buff, and we'll get to see Shaka in the Super Series, which I don't know if we've ever seen that, but the Gauchos, the upstart, upcoming dynasty, what can they do to sort of cement themselves and say that they've arrived?
I feel like this is a must-win for the Gauchos because, as Dean brought it up earlier in the chat, their number 4 is Cale Cartwright. And, I mean, the Vikings aren't a huge offensive team, but that's not someone who I think is going to be reliable to try and get you a win in a do-or-die situation.
Vikings starting out strong. Again, for me, I'm really looking at Reed Miyuki, that 7-8-9. Want to see what they can do for the Vikings. Ooh. And Miyuki's already getting it done behind the plate.
Hello, Philly XIR. Welcome to the conference finals, and that will be a roundabout 1, 2, 3 inning for Chestnut. And we'll go into the bottom of the first. Marshall French and Freishak due up. Here is Noree. She has been having a fantastic season. Only allowing, I think, 3 or 4 earned runs all season. Didn't have any in the regular season. And in the 2 games she's pitched in the first and second rounds, only has surrendered a few. So she has really been having a season to remember. This one into left, in foul territory, but Biscuit is there. She'll make the catch for out number 1.
And I think, for Noree as well, she hasn't necessarily progressed ratings-wise as much as, she could have in being a Season 5 pitcher. But, again, especially like this game, this series is who will perform better than their ratings. Especially when you consider the Vikings bottom of the order, and especially the Gauchos pitching is not horrible, but it's very, very young.
That's going to get down, and 2 runners will be avoided for the Vikings. Start off the bottom of the first with only 1 out, and here is Gage Deputy.
The Mythic doesn't have a current roster. Listen, I may rue this. Oh, wow. Great double steal effort there. I may rue saying this, but I would be surprised if any of the expansion teams make postseason next year.
Yeah, it could be a stretch.
I think maybe one can make it. But it depends on which division they choose.
An unfortunate foul out there. A huge out, though, for Noree. 2 outs, but the base is loaded with Amir Williams at the plate. Amir Williams still trying to make up for his misplay in game number 1. He's tried to slide to catch a ball. Banger with the line shot catch for out number 3, and the side is retired. Vikings lead them loaded, and we go to the top of the second.
Whitney.
What?
Whitney. Remember last season in the conference heroic finals, and the Vikings would load the bases and they wouldn't get any runs?
Yeah.
Whitney. It was the Knights who were really doing it to start that series, and the Vikings just took it to a whole nother level.
Mm-hmm. So a leadoff walk, and that brings up Sophia Billups. Let's see, when was Joey Chestnut taken this? I assume he was a first rounder. So he probably would have been like 17th overall if he was the Vikings' first pick. As he rings up Billups there.
God, clunch. Yeah, Yoshida gotta have that clunch factor. I forgot I even made it a Discord, or not Discord. I forgot I even made it a Moobot command.
That's gonna get down, base hit. Jeff French just managed to cover the time to throw a third, not in time. A close play, but the Gauchos now with runners at the corners, only 1 out here in the top of the second.
That was ballsy by French, because that ball I thought that ball was going to get past him.
And that one's going to get down over the head of Freishak, and it's going to roll into the corner. Williams just now coming up with it. Runner thought about going home, but 1 run will score for the Gauchos, and they take a 1-0 lead.
Major clunch factor there.
No, that's inside.
That's a grounder to third. Freishak will go to first and allows a run to score.
What?
That could have been an easy throw home.
That went perfectly for the Gauchos. Runner held up at second, and runner went home.
So a quick 2-0 lead. The Gauchos scoring more runs in this game than they did all of last night. But Freishak will end the inning here as we go to the bottom of the second, 2-0 for the Gauchos.
Here we go. This is the X factor. This entire trio have been like the Kerwin Karp of the Vikings. Honestly, for the past 2 seasons, like they just have regularly out-hit their stats, and they'll need to come up today. And look at that, Riley Reed is already going to get a board.
Riley Reed doing Riley Reed things. And her brother Spencer here. Spencer. And that one gets through the right side, and that will be a base hit. So the X Factors clunching up here. And here's Miyuki. Well, that's a grounded to second. Yoshida to Phillips. Phillips to first. Dragons special.
And that's not what you're looking for if you're the Gaucho, or if you're the Vikings there. If you're the Gauchos, that's exactly what you're looking for. I mean, they're both Reeds. They've got to be siblings, right?
Just teardrops over the head of Yoshida, and the run will come home to score, and it's 2-1.
Said that siblings had to have the same job.
So an RBI single from Vicky Marshall, and she steals second. I just always assumed they were named Reed.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! CX Ferda, that's a really, really, really funny joke. That's actually hilarious. Oh my gosh. You give bits to someone in chat. No, what you do is you gotta trade with the Mythic this season.
Athena Hex up to bat now. 1-1 the count here in the top of the third. 2-1 the score now. The first game of the Heroic Conference Finals, where both teams have scored, and Chestnut's ringing up 2 people here. And he strike out the side here against Banger. But Banger's gonna. Oh no! Oh, Banger's fast!
Oh, this.
Could he go all the way? He's going to third. Marshall doesn't have a great arm. She was fast enough to get there in time to prevent the Little League home run.
That actually could have very easily have been an inside the park home run. I honestly think even with the arms there, could have very easily gone all the way.
If that was Ron Kinnings Jr. in right, that would have been an inside the park home run.
Elder, I would envision so.
Popped up, and the error won't come home to score. The Vikings get away with one there as we go to the bottom of the third. Still a 2-1 ball game. I don't know about Juan Deck. I don't know how fast or slow he is.
Juan Deck is not fast.
First pitch swinging is Freishak. He flies this into center. Dion is there, one away. Up the middle, a good stop by Yoshida, and he gets to the first in time for round number 2. Oh, the Spider-Verse, the new Spider-Man trailer is out now.
Which one?
No Way Home. And that will do it for the bottom of the third. To the fourth we go. Still a 2-1 ball game. Does it confirm any other Spider-Man coming into the multiverse or whatever?
I'm watching it right now.
Now batting the catcher, number 24.
Right. Well, I mean, Well, I mean, it's they're kind of doing the same thing they did in Spider-Verse, like where, different Spider. I mean, with McGuire and Garfield potentially being in it that's what I was at least trying to allude to. Noah
The
Walker.
cat?
Now batting, the designated hitter.
Walker will do his namesake. Brings up Theo Thunder, an RBI double. He's filling in the void somewhat nicely. This will be the second game the Gauchos are without Samir Tailwind. He has one more game to serve. Grounded to short. Reed in time at second for one to first, not in time. So Thunder able to beat out the Dragons special.
Number 35.
And that's up the middle.
Now batting, the
Brings up the 9-hole Neon Dion. The Gauchos hitting Chestnuts pretty decently. 6 hits and drawn 2 walks through 3 2/3. Just not been able to drive many home as this one's into left, but Amir Williams will track it down for out number 3. Into the bottom of the 4th we go. Still a 2-1 ball game.
now batting,
Your man, Elder.
fielder, number 21. Outside.
Popped up in foul territory. Walker is there.
Out.
He'll make the catch for out number 1.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 69. Ball high. Nope, that's high. That's outside.
3-0 from Norrie to Riley. Reed swings through that one.
Take your base.
But that will be a walk, and the X Factor is aboard for the second time tonight, and here is Spencer.
It's just with the Vikings order, like it's not that the Vikings have the scariest hitting order, but the 7, 8, 9, those have got to be your outs. Like those have got to be honestly outs for you every time if you want to be successful.
And once again, both the Reeds find a way to get on base. And let's see if Miyuki can come up with a different result this time. He grounded into a double play last time. Riley is not all that quick, so I'm not sure if a base hit scores her. Might need extra bases, but this one's grounded to third. Hex goes to second for one to first. Not in time. The throw just a bit late, and so the inning will continue. Runners at the corners for Vicky Marshall. She has 1 run batted in tonight. Can she tie up the game here?
Nope, inside.
And that's what that bottom 3 does, is it sets it up for the top of the order to convert.
It's a 3-0 count to Marshall. She swings 3-0, grounds it to Yoshida. Yoshida to banger in time for out number 3. The Gauchos get out another jam. To the top of the 5th we go. It's the top of the order. Do it for them here. This game going much slower than the game prior with the High Rollers and Unicorns. We're having a lot of people get on base, but no one converting, at least consistently. Swings through that one. Biscuit gets rung up.
Now batting, the third baseman, number
Chestnut coming into this inning was sitting at around 60 pitches through 4, which isn't amazing. Again, you have to consider if Hot Mike comes in, then you're doing yourself a pretty good favor here. You'd like to see Chestnut get through, hopefully at least through the 6th if you would like, for the Vikings.
And Hex will get that one down for a base hit. Ojo up for her. And here is Banger. Missed out on the Little League home run by 90 feet.
And I still think he could have made it all the way as well.
outside. Nope, that's high. Ball.
3-0. And that's nowhere close, and Banger will take a walk. That puts 2 aboard here for the Gauchos. A lot of speed on the bases. And here's Dahlia Colin. A chance for the Gauchos here in the top of the 5th. One of the better opportunities they've had as of late. And a 3-1 count here. Chestnut starting to labor and loses him, and the bases will be loaded. So a hit and 2 walks brings up Sophia Billups. She's tense, 1 for 2. Can she connect with one here to bring home some runs for the Gauchos?
Be absolutely huge for them here.
Oh, an ugly swing there to pitch well inside. It's 1-2. Fouls that one off. That's a slow grounder. Frycheck will go home this time. And the Dragon Special is turned!
What?
A 5-2-3 Dragon Special, and we'll go to the bottom of the 5th.
Wow.
That tenseness for Billups, probably the difference there. Otherwise, she probably breaks that up. And Jed French into left center. That's going to roll to the wall, and he has himself a leadoff double. First ever. No, I don't think that's the first ever 5-2-3. I think we saw something like that earlier in the season. I vaguely recall who it was. I don't know, but I vaguely remember someone going third home first. And this one down into right. French is going to stay put at third. But the Vikings have runners at the corners and nobody out here.
He thought about that too.
So Deputy here with a chance to tie things up, and she might have done more than that into right center, and it's gone! Gage Deputy puts the Vikings on top with a 3-run shot.
The utility player comes in clutch.
Gage Deputy takes the lead for the Vikings here in the bottom of the 5th. Still nobody out here, and Norrie is starting to get battled against. And she will get pulled in favor of Jake Carter. And this one is a shot into center, and that one is crushed. Not a doubt about that one, and it's 6-2. Was that Amir Williams? It was. Holy cow, that was a shot.
And the Vikings are finally doing what they were not able to accomplish last time they were here, which is convert opportunities, and they are just taking the bull by the horns right now.
Popped up, and that will be the first out. But this one is down into right. That will be a single for Spencer Reed. And here is Miyuki.
I'm telling you, it's just death by 1,000 cuts when you let that 7-8-9 come through.
No, inside. No, high.
Full count here to Miyuki. Puts this one into right. Colin is there, and it will make the catch for round number 2. And come to think of it, you know, we have, I mentioned this same kind of thing for the high rollers, and we have a similar kind of thing here for the Vikings. We've got a lot of older players on this Vikings team. Vicky Marshall, believe, for the lack of better knowledge, is an OG Viking. You have Judd French, who's a Season 2 player. You've got a lot of their...
They're kind of in the same situation the Dragons are, where they're not screwed, but they certainly are in a compete now area. And if they, aren't able to win it this season, they definitely need to win it next season because their window is going to start to close very, very fast.
So here we go, top of the 6th. The Gauchos have a mountain to climb here, down 4 runs. That's a good way to start things up with a leadoff single up the middle.
Now batting, the designated hitter, number
Well, let's see, of that starting Vikings lineup, Marshall and French are old. Fryshak was an acquisition this season, and that's a 4.63 Dragons special.
second baseman,
And Chestnut about to reach those 6 innings you aforementioned. And that's going to be an easy play for Reed once again. A 1-2-3 inning in a roundabout way. And to the bottom of the 6th we go. We'll see French, Fryshak, and Deputy do up.
It sets you up for success, when you're able to have your starter go that long. And I mean, it's just common knowledge, but especially with what Hot Mike brings to the table, it's just so much more stability, and there's so much more that you can guarantee for yourself.
And French into left center once again. That's extra bases for him. You have Gage Deputy, who I think is a Season 4 player. I think she was an original high roller that I got, traded to the ball players in the Wrestles, O'Connell, and Tanner trade, and then they traded her to the Vikings. I think Hatmore might be an OG Viking. Williams is young. Reed is into left, and that one is gone! The Vikings having a home run during Liam Fryshak with a 2-run shot, and it's 8-2.
Not to say, if that right there was a Reed that hit that, I think Margie should just log off for this game. Still though, I mean, when it rains, it pours.
I don't know the ages of Riley and Miyuki offhand. I know Spencer was a draft pick this year. The pitching, Halliday was Season 5, Minshew Season 4, Chestnut rookie this year. Barnstormer is a Season 2, Hot Mike I think a 4. Butts was a 4 I think, and then Woodward and George are older. So it'll be interesting to see because the pitching staff will definitely kind of fall off a bit, and no one young in the minors to speak of pitching-wise. Offense-wise, they do have Ron Kenny Jr., who we saw in an injury replacement, along with Short Stacks and Pole Boy. So they do have some ammunition in the minors, at least offensively. Here we go, top of the 7th, 8-2 now, and here's Bruce Hot Mike.
now batting, the left fielder, number 3,
Here's a tense Miranda Biscuit now. Fryshak with a snag at the hot corner.
the third baseman,
That was probably easier than it looked, but it still looked like a really, really good snag there.
And Fryshak diving for that one. The throw in time. Liam Fryshak, have a night. After the 2-run home run, makes a couple of great plays to send us to the bottom of the 7th.
now batting, the shortstop, number 69, now batting,
Locked in Spencer Reed, 3 for 3 tonight.
9, no, high, no, that's high,
More hits combined in this game than... And, Biscuit takes one away from him. Almost was 4 for 4 there. But snags that on the top of her shoes for number 1.
no, that's inside,
off the glove of Carter, but Yoshida is able to back him up, get the throw in time to first round number 2. And that's through the right side. Runner's going to round third, head for home. And it's going to be another run for the Vikings. They're up 9-2 here.
Really, really solid showing from the Vikings here late. And again, it's not that the Gauchos are a bad team. They've definitely gotten here a year early. And I mean, they still have, another game today. And, this game isn't over. They could still feasibly score 7 runs and tie this up. But especially for the Vikings, they are trying to do something very, very special. As well as, if the Vikings were to hold on here, it'd be the 10th postseason win for Hay as manager of the Vikings.
Yeah, like for both halves of the conference finals, I feel like we have very similar organizations, Unicorns and Gauchos, young teams that have plenty of growth to have and still some players in the minors to come up next season, whereas the High Rollers and Vikings kind of trying to make one last final push over the next season or two, try and finally win a title before it's time to rebuild a bit.
And for the Gauchos as well, they're about to enter a division with the Dragons, Wrong Fielders, and Overdrafts. It's kind of like how every season we're like, so Moonshots are division champions, right? I mean, the Dragons could feasibly put up a fight against the Gauchos. Oh no, wait. It's Gauchos, Walkers, Wrong Fielders, that division. I think that actually is.
I honestly don't remember. I have not known.
It was posted.
Now batting, the first baseman, number 10.
Gaichipas, Walkers, and Dragos.
Gauchos, Walkers, Gauchos, Walkers, Dragons. No, that's not right. I don't think the Dragons are in with a new team. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure the Dragons are in a division that is already set. Yeah, it's Dragons, Walkers, Wrong Fielders, Gauchos. So not Overdrafts.
2 quick outs here for the Gauchos here. Octagon in for relief now. And this is to the left side. Hex up with it. The throw is in time for round number 3. And to the 9th inning we go. Gauchos need 7.
Puppet, where do you see that? Because on the team field sheet, it's divided Walkers, Dragons, Gauchos, Wrong Fielders.
The what sheet? The team field sheet?
The team field in SSBL history. I'm blind, by the way.
I definitely haven't touched that sheet.
No, it's right. Yeah, right here. It's Walkers, Dragons, Gauchos, Wrong Fielders. So that's honestly a division that the Gauchos can compete in for sure. And I mean, the only team in that division that's going to give them any type of battle would be the Dragons. But I would have to say that the Gauchos are hands and above the Dragons, maybe by a slim margin next season, but especially moving forward, they definitely have a hand over them. Walkers are heading for a major rebuild. Wrong Fielders are deep in a rebuild that's probably going to take a couple of seasons to filter out.
Second baseman, number 35.
And here's the last man up for the Gauchos, Yoshida.
You definitely need him, Puppet.
Inside. Ball high.
2-2. And that should do it back to Hot Mike, and he gets it in time for out number 3. And the Vikings take game 3, 9-2, and are one step away once again from the date in the Super Series. doubled up the Gauchos in hits. 8 hits for the Gauchos. Walker with 2. Everyone else getting a hit apart from Dion. 7 strikeouts tonight for the Gauchos. 16 hits from the Vikings. Marshall with 2. French and Freishek with 3. He hit a home run. Deputy with a home run herself, as well as Amir Williams. Also 3 hits for Spencer Reed and 2 from Riley. Pitching wise, Noree, the worst outing of her season. 5 earned through 4. 10 hits, 2 walks, strikeout and a home run. Carter gets pegged for 4 and 3 1/3. And then Octagon gets 2 final outs. Chestnut gets the win, 2 earned through 6. And Hot Mike with a clean sheet through 3. Freishek, Deputy, and French are MVPs, and we'll go into game number 3 of the evening, game 4 of the Epic Conference Finals. Can the High Rollers take care of business and be the first team in for the Super Series, or can the Unicorns force a decisive game 5?
This is a huge game upcoming. Unicorns, I mean, it's a must-win for them, and you have to think that they have an advantage given the pitching matchup, but you never know what's going to happen in this league.
Archibald Longshanks versus Dub Mars. It's Wooly. All right, let's see what we have in store. Can the Unicorns force a winner-take-all game 5? Stat-wise, I'm not sure, Elder. I would probably say so, yeah. They're probably
I did not realize that. I did not realize that Dub Mars was the 4 for High Rollers.
Well, he just became the 4 because in the 2 series prior to this, they were hiding Liv Polbean in the number 4 spot. But before the series started, they moved Mars here to the 4th starter. And he's going to get 2 quick outs here to start the things off nicely.
The High Rollers have been around since season 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Unicorns have been around since season 2.
Mm-hmm.
The High Rollers have played in double the number of postseason games than the Unicorns, 26-13. It's just so weird to think of the Unicorns as a franchise that is like very green behind the ears when it comes to postseason, and the High Rollers as like, you know, kind of like stalwarts. Just given that the High Rollers have been around for less amount of time, but the High Rollers have actually, let's see, 1, 2, 3. The High Rollers have actually played in the 4th most postseason games of any franchise.
And I think you talked about it earlier. One of the other ones is the Lumberjacks, who have played a lot, like those expansion teams, you know, being a big part of the postseason.
What's funny enough is that the Lumberjacks actually kind of fall out a little bit because they've only played in 24 games.
They've won
and
the
that's
division.
tied with, yeah. So as a result, they don't play in as many. Whereas the High Rollers don't often win their division. In fact, they have only won their division.
They've won it at least twice, if not 3 times. Because they won it in season 4. They probably won it in 5. And then 6, I think they won it because I was a wild card. So I think they've got at least 3.
Interesting. Oh!
What a throw from Breezy Bree in center. The outfield assist ends the first inning. To the top of the second we go.
And I wouldn't say the Unicorns have arrived early I think we were kind of expecting them to show up this season. Um, but the team on the flip side here, the High Rollers, are not in the same situation as the Vikings. The High Rollers have a little bit more maneuverability after this season. Um, but still, like, again, just the dynamics of these conference matchups are so unique in terms of, I mean, for seasons we've always been talking about bombers, lumberjacks, moonshots, skulls, serpents. Those are the names that we talk about in terms of the teams that have, like left their mark in this league. And now you've got these four teams that have always sort of been on the fringe, aside from the Unicorns, but these
And
two
the
other teams at least
Gauchos.
that have always been. I think the Gauchos, it's been a little bit of a interesting manner in which they've gone about it. I think like they kind of had a disappointing from after they won their division, going 0-2 that first postseason, and then that season afterwards. I don't think anybody enjoyed that. I think the Gauchos were honestly a really feel-good team, and it just sucks that they kept on getting really bad breaks. Marge calling to do the full rebuild, but I've always ascertained the Gauchos to be a team that is on the fringe in terms of they had the potential. I mean, overall, the Gauchos in terms of a winning percentage, they are 25-42, but if you consider their first and this season, they're, honestly kind of on level with like the High Rollers.
Two bad throws on the Dragon special, but the High Rollers still get out of the inning. Both
So that-
throws were spiked in the dirt, but they still turn them.
In fact, if I could just retrace my steps here, you've got the Unicorns and the Gauchos, who are teams that have arrived a little bit early, who have never necessarily been in the conversation, but are now thrusting themselves in the conversation. And then you have the Vikings and the High Rollers, who, especially as of late, have definitely cemented themselves as sort of contenders every season, just haven't been able to put it together. So I'd like to fully retract what I was initially saying and substitute that, because that works a lot better anyways. By the way, Elder, congrats on 50 games managed for the Unicorns, this being your 51st.
Unicorns had a nice opportunity there with bases loaded, only one out. But Haggy Porterhouse grounded into the double play to end the inning. Bottom two we are, 2 on, only 1 out here for Evans. To second, and Porterhouse flips behind his back, and he turns 2! Porterhouse flipping it behind his back, and then Odor gets it to first, and the Unicorns turn their own Dragon special, sending us to the top of the third. Both teams flashed another in the second inning.
To be fair, Elder, you've only been a manager for 3 seasons, so 28 of those 50 games, 46% of them were outside this season. You played more than half of the games that you have managed have come this season, and it's just because you had the play-in game as well as this is now game 4 of this series. This is the 8th game here, so that's why it probably feels like that. It's because over 50% of your games have come this season alone. Which I don't know if there's anybody who is even close to that number.
To what number?
To having more than 50% of your games coming this season in terms
season.
of at least three seasons managed.
And that will be caught by Longstop for out number 3. A quick inning of work there from Archibald Longshanks, by Dub Mars, sending us to the bottom of the third, where we'll see Archibald Longshanks on the mound.
Wow, I have a very interesting stat here, which is, do you want to guess how many new managers came in for season 5?
New managers came in for season 5.
For season 5.
Uh,
And guess how many you think came in and how many are still managing.
let me think.
Ball inside.
While you think, I can do play-by-play. 3-1 just finds the top of the zone.
Ball forward. Take it
And that's going to be a walk issue there to Piston Omen.
Now batting. The second
That'll bring up, honestly, a linchpin of this High Rollers team. Wally Wooly, runners on first and second, nobody out, popped up right side. That'll be caught for the first out. Runners will stay at second and first.
batting. The first baseman, number 89.
Do you have a guess, or are you looking it up?
5 and 5 new and 5, and like 2 are still around.
Get this. There were 2 new managers in season 5. Only 2. And it was Elder and Puppet. And if the Unicorns were able to win this and the next game, both of those managers would have Super Series appearances.
So the first year for Pasta was 6th, and then